Hello and welcome back. I am here with Joanne. My name is Emma. And if you have been watching and if you've been with us for the last three calls, you know that we are diving deeper. If this is your first call, our intention is to strengthen your relationship with your emotions, for you to understand your emotions and connect deeper to your body. In our first call, we touched on the basics. In the second call, we touched on your relationship with your emotions. In this call, we are tapping into emotions and relationships. Emotions and the connection that it has with those around us. Okay, so we're going to go a little deeper. And I am going to start off by asking the incredible Joanne, why is it important to have a healthy connection with your emotions in relationships?
It is very important to have a connection with your emotions in relationships, because every person that you interact with is different, and know that everyone has a different response to the stimulus around them. Everyone has different triggers that will trigger different emotions and feelings. We haven't been brought up in same families, especially when it comes to intimate relationships. So if I look at my intimate relationship, we come from very, very different backgrounds. We've come from very different upbringings. In my family, we openly expressed anger. In my family, we talk loud. I'm an Italian. We talk loud, we express, we let it go, and then we move on.
I
Right
relate.
now, in my partner's family, they did not express their emotions. It wasn't safe to. So when it comes to anger, he withholds. He withholds that emotion, and how it shows up in the body can be shut down. So a disconnect, a total disconnect. Like I can't be with this. I don't want to feel this. So I'm going to block you out. So that's how it looks from the outside world. So if you're looking in, you might think that person's being rude, or they're dismissing you, or they're just arrogant. But in fact, it's their mechanism to deal with their emotions. It could occur as shaking of the legs. That is a big one. Big one. That's just energy that wants to move, that is not moving. So when people do that, it can be energy that wants to move that is not moving through the body, and it's being trapped in the legs, like those restless legs. It can also appear as, if you're looking at the body, it can also appear as a big belly. So with extra tissue there, because there's so much energy that is just going around and around and around, and it's not being expressed. Right. So, and how can that show up in your intimate relationships? Well, if you don't understand so let me just take it one step back. Imagine if both of you have the same response to anger, and then you both suppress. What do you think communication is going to be like between you? Now, likewise, if you're both fiery, like me, what do you think that's going to be like? Can be dangerous, can be volatile. So understanding each person's relationship, and this is not just about anger, this is also about sadness. I grew up in a family where there was a lot of sadness. And as a little girl, I decided that I didn't want to feel that. I don't want to feel that. I have to be happy. So I put on this happy mask. So then when I experienced sadness coming from my family members, it was like intolerance. And it didn't show up nice. I'm not going to lie. It was like, I've got no time for this. I don't want to deal with that. It's too painful. I didn't really know that it was that, but it was like, I've got time for that. Stop sooking. Get over it. Let's move on. No compassion. So that's how it can show up. And it wasn't until I had a healthy relationship with my sadness, which was the very first emotion that I really, really got connected to, because I had avoided it so much. So once I got connected to that sadness and I allowed that sadness to be there, to feel, to move it, it changed my relationship with that person. Likewise with my partner. When I now see him in that state, I know there's something brewing. I'm not going to make it about me. It's not about me. I'm like, okay, what's going on with you? Anything you want to talk about? Right? So that's how,
Yes.
that's how through, if you have a healthy relationship with your emotion, you'll be able to be with others.
Yes.
If you do not have a healthy relationship with your emotion, you'll be intolerant. You
Mm.
might take it personally. You might get hurt, offended.
Yes, 100%. And yeah, if you can't read the signs of your own body, how are you going to read another person? You're completely oblivious to what they're experiencing if you don't know what you're experiencing. So it really ties back to understanding your connection to your emotions first. You'll have deeper connections, deeper friendships, deep romantic connections, deeper connections with your family. And take a moment to reflect which relationships in your life feel out of balance. Is it with friends? Is it your partner? Is it your parents, your siblings, your children? Taking a moment to reflect. And as you reflect, Joanne, I would love for you to touch on how Kunyin helps this.
So we mentioned on a previous call that, emotions need spaciousness. And so Kunyin is a practice where we come together, whether it's online or in person, and we allow ourselves to give us space. It's a safe space to express, to feel. And we have an instructor that will lead you through different cues and different ways to move your body to different types of music that can evoke different types of emotions. And it gives you the opportunity to move the energy through your body. And you're instructed and held by our amazing instructors. And you're able to move that through in a safe way. You're able to connect to what that is, whatever that emotion is, whether it's joy or sadness or fear or surprise or anger, whatever it is, you're able to connect to that and move that through your body so that you can come out and go back to your family and not have to hold that in your body. And you don't have to experience that. So how cool is that?
Yes. It's magic. It is magic. And do you have a tip on how to communicate your emotions with those around us?
Yes. So there is this incredible tool, and it's called a body reveal. And it's really revealing how you're feeling in your body. And the reason why we do this is you can tell people what you think and they can argue with that. But nobody can argue with how you feel. It's a feeling, it's real, it's yours. And when you own it, no one can mess with you. But you have to be authentic about it. And so how we do a body reveal is by taking in a breath and closing our eyes. And you may want to do this right now. And so if you are feeling, so I'm just going to just reveal what's there for me. And so what I would say if I was having an interaction with my partner and I'm going to put myself into a state where I'm a bit frustrated. Okay, so don't you do this now, but if I'm a bit frustrated or if you're in a frustrated state and you want to communicate how you're feeling, you can just take a breath, close your eyes, go into it and explain what's happening. It's almost like you're doing a scan of your body and it's on loudspeaker, okay? You might say, at the moment, I feel a tightness in my chest. I feel my throat closing up, my mouth is dry, and I don't even know what to say to that. I don't even know how to respond. I feel vibration in my chest and I can feel my stomach churning. And I just need a couple of minutes to come back to you when we can talk about this, when I'm not so much like this. And then take another breath, shake it off, right? literally shake it off, move it, do some hip circles, like just move your body just a little bit, however that might be. And then maybe go get some air, some fresh air, and come back. Now, that's if you're feeling frustrated. If you're feeling sad, you may want to stay in that space. But if you're feeling like, this could go somewhere that's not going to work, take yourself away for a little while, but communicate that's what you're doing. Don't just leave them. Don't just storm off. Communicate how you're feeling. Reveal what is inside of you. Allow it to be expressed. And the only way that you can do that is by quietening your mind, coming back into your body, and just taking a scan of what's going on.
I love that. Especially for those who freeze in conversation. It happens a lot with me with friends. My throat will completely freeze and my mind will just completely go blank when I'm in conversation, because there's something that I'm feeling that I don't actually know how to process, and then I can't express.
So just stopping, and that fight or flight or freeze response can be a response to a trigger, could be a response to a traumatic event. So just taking that moment, being kind with yourself, and especially if you're someone who is like me, who can be a bit fiery, I've had to learn how to breathe into that feeling and allow it to be inside of me before it comes out, because when it comes out, it can come out vicious. It can come out and burn people, that fire. So I've had to learn, how do I hold it, feel it, express it without annihilating the people in my path. With love.
With love. Oh, the fire. But we'll end the call here. Thank you all for watching. And I hope you got something very valuable from this conversation. And we'll see you all very soon. Bye-bye.